Hello, hello, y'all. We are doing the Gemini collective reading and the Cancerian collective reading. Where is the Gemini collective? Hello, hello. Do I have any Geminis in the house? What is up, Kissy Jello? Oh yes, Gemini and Cancer collective readings. I want to give y'all about less than 8 minutes to start the reading. Hope y'all are doing A-okay out there. Gemini collective. Do I have any Geminis out there? Anyone with Gemini in their placements in their chart? We will be starting the Gemini reading in less than 7 minutes, y'all. No news just yet. I wish I had more energy after I get off work. I totally would be making more content. And I totally feel bad and beat myself up over it that I'm not making more content, but I'm totally freaking pooped after work. Hello, Lindsay. We are doing the Gemini and Cancer collective readings, y'all. Where is the Gemini collective? I would totally be happy if it was just Kissy Jello and Lindsay needs a copy in the comment section. Gemini Venus, married to a Gemini. Okay. What up, y'all? Gemini collective. What's up, Empress Energy? Always here to support when I can. I got the Hermit with the Hangman as my advice. Hermit and Hangman. That's a whole lot of waiting and looking for new perspective, and yeah, a whole lot of looking at the situation from their point of view. Or introspection. What up, y'all? We are going to start the Gemini collective reading in less than 4 minutes. Hope y'all are doing A-okay. Deep shadow work in a time of waiting. Yep. Hurry up and wait. Oh yes. Gemini collective. If y'all are new here, definitely hit that follow button. I so appreciate you. If y'all are returning, thank you all for all the love and support. I so appreciate it. I mean, considering y'all choose to be here instead of going and watching another tarot reader or watching a video with cute kittens, heck, I need to stop giving y'all ideas. The betrayal. My heart. You know what, Rick? It's not a bad idea. Search bar. Cute kittens. Cute kittens shall be watched later on. Yes. She said, you're teaching me. Aw, I appreciate that. I mean, I do feel like the spread that I use for my personal, usage, for if it's collective or Zodiac collective, or even my face-to-face personal readings, is a pretty practical spread. Alrighty, Gemini collective, less than 2 minutes. That is less than 120 seconds. Yeah, I do feel like the spread I use is pretty practical. A experienced reader could definitely use it, especially if they use clarifying cards. And I mean, I do feel like a beginner could feel like an experienced reader if they were to use the spread I use as well. I mean, it's not necessarily a Celtic Cross spread, but it's not really a past, present, future spread either. Or situation, challenge, advice. It's somewhere in the middle, a happy medium. What do we have for the Gemini collective? What does Gemini need to know moving forward? What does Gemini need to know moving forward? For the next week ahead. What does the Gemini collective need to know moving forward? Less than 30 seconds, y'all. I need a timer. Because, for real, I don't know if it's less than 30 seconds or if it's more. It can't be more than 60 seconds, though. I do remember when I first started doing pre-recorded videos, I experimented with an hourglass that I have somewhere in my knickknacks, and it took about 5 minutes for the hourglass to run out. I was like, hey, I could do a reading in less than 5 minutes. Sure enough, when I tried to do a 3-card spread with the hourglass in view of the camera, I mean, I got through the 3 cards, but I also had to clarify just to kill a little bit of time. That was pretty experimental, and it was pretty awesome. Alrighty, y'all. 40 after. We do need 3 more shuffles for the Gemini collective. A 1, a 2, a 3. Alrighty. If y'all are new here and don't know what happens when I do the bridge shuffle, as I'm about to do, that is the, yes, UFO Studio. The signal to send me scissors or anything sharp and pointy of the emoji variety, so I can cut this deck. Oh yes. There it is and there it was. TWAS twas. It wasn't my best bread shuffle, I'll say that much, but it's the one we're getting. Alrighty, y'all. Thank y'all for all the emojis. We're definitely going to use said sharp and pointy emojis to cut this deck. Gemini Collective, Sun, Moon, and or Rising, maybe even Venus. Here is the situation. Okay. Here is the challenge. Here is your person of interest. Here is the common ground or similarities between you both. Similarities or common ground between you both. And here is the possible outcome and or advice. Okay, do keep in mind I will be pulling one card from the Oracle deck to get a deeper understanding of why I pulled these 5 cards here in the specific way. These 5 specific cards. I don't know where that came from, but yes, do keep it in mind. Alright. I think that's about it. Gemini Collective. We are starting your reading out. Bum bum bum. With the devil. Y'all seen me shuffle and shuffle and shuffle. So maybe y'all need to hear something. Gemini Collective, is there an attachment that you have to this person where it feels like maybe a little bit obsessive, maybe excessive, like you're texting this person a lot, you're indulging in the physical intimacy a lot, maybe with the devil, you could be, in general, it doesn't have to do with this person or this relationship, I suppose. In general, you could be overspending your money, oversleeping, overeating, abusing substances. What other examples? Doing things in excess. That's, at the very least. With the devil card, there could be, like I mentioned, some sort of attachment that you have to this person. That could be a little obsessive. Possibly. Maybe you're just being playful with them. Her ex is a toxic Capricorn. No, oh no. Why the cards gotta call me out? Oh goodness. I'm glad y'all are taking these cards in stride because, it is just a tarot reading. Half of it is for entertainment. Maybe the other half could be taken seriously. But yes, this is the devil card. Doing things in excess. Maybe doing things out of fear. Maybe trying to control the situation. Trying to force either the narrative or force things to happen unnaturally. Mind you, if we're forcing things to happen, it's not naturally happening, right? With the 9 of Wands in the challenge. 9 of Wands in the challenge. I do feel like you're letting your guard down with a specific person. And I say this because when yes, Barrett, that's a good example as well. Maybe you feel bound to this person, either by finances or maybe you, finances is definitely a good example of how you could feel bound to them. I don't want to say that maybe some of you have had kids with this person and now it's like, well, I guess I'm stuck with them, or I guess they're stuck with me. They said that's it. I'm sure there's still love there. You know what I mean? That doesn't necessarily have to mean that it's toxic, like, oh, we had kids, now we're stuck with each other. Because things can definitely get toxic if one or either of you are not cooperative. And when I say toxic, I said, oh, I'm obsessed. When I say toxic, that word tends to be thrown around a whole lot, does it not? When I say toxic, then, I mean, I cannot treat you well, but I can't let you go either. I don't want to let you go, but I also don't know how to treat you with respect or how you should be treated, or how you would like to be treated, let's say. And I suppose there's a healthy way to be obsessed, for sure. I mean, you could definitely be in love with someone and feel guilty for being in love with them. Like, I feel like I'm obsessed with them. Like, no, it totally can be healthy to be in love with someone, you know. But with that being said, the Nine of Wands, I feel like you've let your guard down. Once upon a time, you might have had your guard up with this person, finding it challenging or difficult, to let them in. Now, with the Nine of Wands in the challenge, you may feel like it's challenging or difficult to keep them out, right? Like, no, 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 no. I want all of you. I want to possess you, body, mind, and soul. I want to be a part of every second of your life, right? Yes, with that Nine of Wands, it's like maybe you felt like you've had to fight battle after battle to get in this person's life or to gain their attention. And now it's like you don't necessarily have to fight for it anymore. You don't have to prove yourself worthy, or, you know what I'm saying? There's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's no race to win. There's no finish line. It's like we've definitely gone past the finish line. We've definitely came out of that tunnel and are covered in the light, to the point of I don't have to keep my guard up with this person anymore. I don't know who this person is to you, but they're showing up as Page of Cups. The Gemini collective having an extreme, obsessive, maybe even sexual attachment to a Page of Cups. I mean, sure, anything's possible. I don't know if this person is like offering some sort of olive branch, or trying to apologize for something, or what the case is. Maybe they're just like, they have childlike is the word I want to use, childlike emotions for you, like you just light up their world. It doesn't have to be that they're reaching out for an apology, per se, but normally when I see the Page of Cups, that's what, my go-to interpretation is. Although, yes, the other example could be true as well. It's a young, fun energy. Exactly. Which is why I wanted to say childlike. With the King of Wands and the similarities or common ground between you both, first and foremost, I do want to say that y'all know yourselves well enough to know that this is my person. This is the relationship for me. If we're talking in general, it could be that maybe you're claiming a hobby is yours, and this is my purpose, to practice this hobby and to get better at it and practice until I know every little detail about how to do it, when to do it. Doesn't have to be, though. If we're talking about a relationship, it's like, yes, we're just waiting for this other person to act all sweet and kind, and then we're just like That Page of Cups is just yummy. I'ma just pounce on that Page of Cups. Give me a big old bite of that Page of Cups. Or maybe this Page of Cups is like, yes. What up, Jules? No biggie. Take your time and relax. I know you just got off work. Or this Page of Cups could be like, yes. Look at that Gemini. I love how obsessed they are with me. I love that they overindulge in myself, body, mind, and soul. Yes, definitely devour me. One thing I do want to mention about the King of Wands is, yes, while you both probably have a lot of passion, while you both probably have a lot of fun, as far as the King of Wands goes, if you both are in masculine energy, I'm sure you both will butt heads as well. Okay, this is how the relationship is going to go. This is how our daily routine and habits are going to go, says the Gemini. And the Page of Cups is all over here like, no, we should be spontaneous. We should do, whatever we feel like doing in the moment. Maybe that's your energy most of the time. I mean, I do know most Geminis are spontaneous. Maybe not spontaneous necessarily. Y'all are of the mind. So you would think you would be more structured, more, disciplined in your daily routines than possibly someone who's more Page of Cups wise, right? But yes, anytime I get a king of any suit, and either the similarities or common ground between you both, or even if you both show up as, let's say, one of you showed up in your rating as a King of Wands, the other one would show up as King of Cups. It's like, well, you both are going to be butting heads eventually. That's two masculine energies wanting to take action in this way or in that way, or take the lead and be organized in that way and protect. It's like, I want to do things this way. Well, I want to do things that way. To some degree, you both will be butting heads eventually, which I'm sure there's going to be a lot of ups with a Page of Cups and, yeah, the Gemini being obsessed with this person, maybe even wanting to overindulge in them. But there's also, I do feel, extreme downs, ups and downs, a roller coaster of a relationship. I would suggest with the King of Pentacles to ground yourself as much as you possibly can muster with this relationship, because yes, while I'm sure there's a lot of passion between you both, while yes, with the Devil card, there could be an excess of physical intimacy, the one thing I want to warn y'all about is if this relationship is a new one, or even if it's like a past relationship, I do want to warn against starting something too fast and then having it end just as quickly. So yes, King of Pentacles could be the possible outcome to where you're like, okay, I need to ground myself. I need to make sure that I'm reliable for this person. I need to make sure I protect this person's emotions. Even if they're showing up as a page, maybe that's something you enjoy about this person is their childlike wonder, their childlike emotions, right? I need to step up to the plate and protect this person at all costs. Their emotions, their life is in my hands just as much as mine is in theirs. It could be with the King of Pentacles that you're wanting to start up a business, a side hustle. Maybe you're wanting to be smarter about your money. and how you're spending it, or how you're, lack thereof, budgeting, or how you're investing your money. No matter the case, we have one card we need to pull from the Oracle deck. This is a kind of a good reading. I mean, mind you, the Devil card could also mean that you feel bound to them in a negative way, like maybe you're afraid of losing them, maybe you're afraid of them tricking you. Because keep in mind, the Page of Cups does have a fish in that cup. Maybe you feel like this is toxic to some degree. Or could end up toxic, as if, like, yes, the physical intimacy is awesome and all that jazz, but do they really see me in all my glory? Or are they just here for the physical intimacy? Do they really know me on a deeper level, as if I'd like them to, as much as I'd like them to? Or are they just here for a little bit of fun, and then once they get their hanky-panky, you know, they're out the door? And then maybe the Gemini is just another notch on this person's belt, keeping that Page of Cups pants up. Alrighty, y'all. We need to get one last card, because, I mean, it could go either way. I do feel like with the Nine of Wands in the challenge, this is good. That if y'all, once upon a time, had your guard up, you don't have it up anymore. You don't have that guard up. You're not a wounded warrior. So with that being said, we need one card to end this reading for the Gemini Collective. 3 more shuffles. A 1, a 2, a 3. Alrighty, y'all. Top card for the Gemini Collective to end out this reading is... Whoa, Medusa! What are you doing in this reading? Get out of here! As gorgeous as the artwork in this deck is, how do I want to word this? I really want to be witty with this. I want to make some sort of witty joke. I wasn't expecting to be turned rock hard in this reading. That's terrible. Rick, you can do better. Dang it, Rick. You and your dad jokes. The eyeballs. I mean, it's a gorgeous card. It's pretty revealing. Maybe a little too revealing for a TikTok. I'm sure TikTok will let me know if they're going to restrict me or not, but not the joke I was expecting. I was trying to joke around as far as like Medusa turning, you know, whoever sees them into stone, and, you know, maybe throw an innuendo into it, but it didn't work out in my favor. It is what it is. Medusa, is this why this seems toxic to you? What does this card mean? I do feel it has something to do with seduction. Do you feel like with the Devil card that this is about to be a toxic relationship, because either they are showing up like, hey, look at me, all excited to, you know, either reconnect with you, or look at me, I'm all innocent and, you know, cute and cuddly as can be. You know, don't you want to come play? Does this feel like a temptation, though, to the Gemini Collective? do you feel like this could like turn toxic like really quick? I'm about to find out what the overall topic for that card is. Justice. What? Look at this, y'all. Medusa. Justice. What does this have to do with your reading? I was not expecting that at all. Okay, we're just going to read from it, from the guidebook, and maybe it'll give us a clue as to like what's going on in this reading for y'all Geminis. I mean, if this reading is like hitting whatsoever, if it's like accurate whatsoever, if you feel like it's relatable to some degree, then I mean, I guess it don't have to make sense to me, but dang, if I ever needed my one moderator, Landon, to be in here, they could definitely tell me whether or not it's relatable or if, you know, it's a total BS reading. Whatever the case. Medusa, justice. Medusa springs out of the shadows, baring her fangs and hissing like the snakes that grow from her head. The venomous sting of her tail rattles behind her as she eyes her prey. Just one glance in her direction, and her victim will be turned into stone. There is much said about the horrors of Medusa, but we often forget that the woman in the myth was both mortal and beautiful before being transformed into a monster. As the Greek myth goes, Medusa was violated by a sea god, or the sea god Poseidon. Rather than punish Poseidon for this heinous act, furious at the desecration of her temple, Athena chose to chastise Medusa for breaking her vow of celibacy. In a sense, this card is as much about injustice as justice. It will often arrive when we feel as though we have been treated unfairly. The rage in Medusa's stance suggests a need to right a wrong or invoke fairness of some kind. If you have drawn this card, it could be time for you to seek justice. You may be motivated by anger, but remember to keep as level a head as possible, especially with this King of Pentacles card coming up. You may be motivated by anger, but remember to keep as level a head as possible when relaying the facts of a situation. It is time for you to give your side of the story. As a general card, Medusa is a good omen, especially when connected to legal situations or times when the truth needs to be confirmed. Okay, so maybe there's some sort of truth that you know about this person. Maybe this person is showing up as a Page of Cups when you know that this fish in that cup is just a trick. Is this why you're showing up as devil energy? Like, maybe you're not so obsessed with this person. Maybe you know that this is all about control, is about fear, about manipulation. If there's some sort of truth, you need to speak out about this person. Definitely stay grounded when speaking your truth. Try your best not to be angered or, to come across as the toxic one. Because this person could definitely switch, the narrative and be like, look, see, I told y'all Gemini was this or was that. Look at how they're acting. I don't know who would relate to this reading, because this reading is like all over the place. But I mean, I guess it could make sense if both of you are in King of Wands energy. Like, No, I know my truth. I know, a liar or a manipulator when I see one. Maybe there is some sort of injustice that once upon a time had you feeling like you're the wounded warrior, but now you find it challenging to be in that victim mentality, and you're wanting to speak out against this person. Possibly. With that being said you're spot on. Hello, Kitty Call 21. I'm having family drama, and justice is something we are seeking against a family member. Okay. Okay. Well, this is what I have for the Gemini Collective. He is a Scorpio. I'm a Gemini. He is toxic. Okay. I'll take y'all's word for it then. With that being said, I hope this helped. I hope it was informative, maybe even entertaining to some degree. I mean, I know I have some pretty wacky facial expressions, but I don't know. Some of these readings, I'm just like, I'm not connected to as many Geminis as I think I am. Because maybe I could see how they could relate to it if I knew, a whole lot of Geminis and what they're going through. Thanks, my eyes are wide open. Awesome sauce. Thank you all for all the love and support. Do keep in mind, I will be uploading, or downloading technically, this live stream onto my phone, and then uploading it from my phone to my YouTube channel. The link to my YouTube channel is in my TikTok bio. If for whatever reason you cannot reach my YouTube channel through my TikTok bio, it is Free Will Tarot 2.0. Oh yes, search in the search bar in YouTube, Free Will Tarot 2.0. And if you do so, you won't be able to miss out on these live streams. That's the point of it. It's not that I'm just like, hey, I also have a YouTube channel. Subscribe. No, I'm doing this so that y'all won't have to miss out on live streams. With that being said, we definitely have to get the Cancerian reading started. Cancer Collective, where are my Cancerians at? Cancer Collective, we need to start your reading like ASAP. I done went overboard with that Gemini reading. Like over my time limit that I give myself. Cancer Collective. I said me. Nice. Thank you all for being patient with me as I confusingly put the puzzle pieces of the Gemini Collective reading together. And let's hope that the Cancerian reading isn't as confusing or complicated. What do we have for the Cancer Collective? What does the Cancer Collective need to know moving forward? Said I'm here. Hello, Sophia. What does the Cancer Collective need to know moving forward? Alright, we need 3 more shuffles, y'all. We need to just get right into it. A 1. A 2. A 3. Alrighty. Now is the time to send me scissors so I can cut this deck. Oh yes, send me scissors. Anything sharp and pointy of the emoji variety. That is the name of the game. Give me my scissors so I can cut this deck. They're mine. They're all mine. They have my name on them. Property of Rick. There it is, and there it was. TWAS twas. We are definitely going to use all of y'all's scissors and swords and axes and tridents and clothespins and thumbtacks to cut this deck. Alrighty. It has been cut. Cancer Collective, Sun, Moon, and or Rising, maybe even Venus. Here is your situation. Here is the challenge. Here is your person of interest. Here is the similarities or common ground between you both, and here is the possible outcome and or advice. Do keep in mind, Cancer Collective, at the end of this reading, we will be pulling one card from the Oracle deck so that I can get a deeper understanding, and we all can get a deeper understanding as to why we pulled these specific cards in the specific order. With that being said, let's get into the reading. Cancer Collective, we are starting the reading out with the situation being the Hanged Man. This could tell me that y'all are trying to see something from a different perspective, maybe even sacrificing a little bit of your time, sacrificing a little bit of your energy or effort, as far as I put in so much effort into giving this person just my own perspective, or giving into my own opinions, my own biases. You know, maybe if I was to sacrifice that, I could see from this person's perspective, and we could get along better. I don't know what kind of issue or problem you are dealing with, Cancer Collective. Maybe you're wondering what's going on with this person, and you're starting to see a different side of them, a side of them you don't like. And I'm not saying that because I see other cards that could relate to that storyline. I'm just throwing examples out as far as what perspective, or it's a change in perspective, point blank. You know, it doesn't have to be good, it doesn't have to be bad. And anyways, good and bad are human concepts. Are they not? Landon, you're late. You totally missed the Gemini reading, and it was a complicated one. I needed you. They said I missed it. Yes you did. But I will be uploading this video, so it will be okay. With that being said, I know it. I will be uploading this video, though. So yes, I must move on to the Cancer Collective because I've only got 15 minutes left of the live stream. Alright, Cancer Collective, let's see if I can do this in record time. The situation is the Hanged Man. When we are in Hanged Man mode, we are trying to see something from a different perspective. Or, we're metaphorically speaking, trying to hang ourselves upside down so that all the information goes from our feet to our head, which I don't know how practical that could be as far as seeing things from a different perspective. We're trying to be enlightened about a situation. Enlightened. With the Queen of Wands in the challenge, it feels like you've lost some sort of confidence in this relationship. Maybe with this person either disappearing on you or acting in some weird way. It's like, wow, I don't feel the most attractive now. Where is this person? What are they doing? Have they chosen someone else? Either they're not talking to me, or they just are into themselves more, investing into their own life. I really need to see something from a different perspective because I am finding it challenging to be confident in my day-to-day life. I'm finding it challenging to feel attractive because either they're not giving me the attention they used to, or, what other example could you come up with? The psychology would say that, yes, if you are feeling not so attractive or not feeling the most confident, 1 plus 1 equals 2, or in this case, 3 take away 2 equals 1. No confidence plus question mark equals new perspective. You do have a person of interest who is either a part of the problem or a part of the solution that wants to either travel your way, that has some sort of good news, that wants to flirt with you. They want to send you messages. Maybe they're sending you these messages right now, and it's like, whoa, I'm seeing something from a different perspective now. Or now, I'm not so confident in why this person didn't choose me, or why this person chose me in the first place. What is going on in this reading? Are y'all about to receive some sort of news, or is this person receiving some sort of news, and it's changing your perspective on them? This person has some sort of fast-forward movement happening, and maybe it's showing you a different side of them. Maybe it's showing you a different version of them that you wasn't expecting. And now it's like, well, I don't feel so confident in my own shoes. We do have the Hierophant, and the similarities are common ground between you both. This could tell me that you both want something traditional. This could also tell me that with the Hierophant, maybe you both are learning a spiritual lesson at this time. Maybe even you both want to become a spiritual guru or a teacher of sorts. Doesn't have to be a spiritual teacher per se. It could mean that you want to become a leader to some degree, though. No matter what area of life, no matter what field of work that maybe you want to lead or teach to some degree. I'm going to say that both of you want a higher level of commitment, though. Either with each other or elsewhere, or how many other examples can you come up with for that? But either there's a spiritual lesson being learned by the both of you, or you both are interested in a higher level of commitment with the Hierophant. There's only so many examples with this card that can be given. With the Knight of Pentacles in the possible outcome and or advice, if this is a possible outcome, take your time. Slow and steady wins the race. We always want to be cautious as to who or what we invest our time, money, energy, effort into. Because we definitely don't want to lose our confidence. We definitely want to have one set perspective as to who this person is, but only by getting to know them over time. How many times have we met a person and then assumed we knew who they are right off the rip, and then they do something or they say something that's like totally out of left field, and it's like, wait a second, I thought I knew who you were. So either I misjudged you, or you gave me the wrong idea about who you was. If this is the advice with the Knight of Pentacles, it definitely could be the advice to, yes, take things slow either with this person or this relationship, or whatever you're about to get into as far as maybe becoming a leader or a boss, a teacher of some sort. Or it could maybe be even to apply this lesson, this spiritual lesson, to your everyday life, your everyday routine, your daily habits, right? Because this is slow and steady wins the race. This is over time. Apply this lesson, possibly. This is kind of a weird reading. Am I making any sense to the Cancerians out there? Because, I mean, like, basically, what I'm doing right here is I'm giving the psychic experience. I am not a psychic whatsoever. The less information I know about y'all's life, though, the better. And then I pull cards in such a way, with my predetermined placements of this spread, that it gives me a storyline that reflects back what's going on in the situation, energetically speaking. So, with that being said, I don't always know if it's hitting, or if it's accurate, or if it's even relatable, but, like, I'm sure to some degree y'all could relate, but take what resonates, leave out the rest, you know what I'm saying? With that being said, I guess I'm just going to pull an oracle card, and we're going to see, get a deeper understanding as to why we pulled these cards in such a way. What does the Cancer Collective need to know moving forward to end out this reading? I'm not taking it. I'm taking cards that fall out, especially if it's more than one. What does the Cancer Collective need to know moving forward to end out this reading? Alright, we need 3 more shuffles. A 1. A 2. A 3. Alrighty, y'all. Last card to end out this reading. Gotta love the artwork in this deck. Only love remains. Only love remains. I'm not sure what the concept of this is, but there is some sort of situation, guessing off of this card, where something is shifting your perspective that is possibly moving this person's life forward, or they're wanting to adapt to changes in their own life, and the way you are viewing them through these changes is possibly changing your perspective about them. And it's like, wow, I don't know how to feel about this. I'm not feeling the most confident about the situation. But it's also teaching you and this person simultaneously a very important lesson, maybe in taking your time and who you invest into, possibly. I still don't know how this card relates, but we're going to read from the guidebook. Only love remains. Maybe it's love for yourself, self-love. Memories. Do you have good memories with this person? I suppose it doesn't have to be of romantic interest. It could definitely be a family member, coworker, friend. No matter the case, memories. We're going to read from the guidebook. Only love remains, memories. A woman stands before an archway, touched by an ivory palette, her lace wings, her hair and the ivy behind her are drained of color. Only the rose, which she holds up in prayer, is red with life and vibrancy. The woman in this card is at one with her memories. She breathes them in, and they give her life. Anybody who has lost a loved one or feels that their best times have passed will be able to relate to this. It might feel like only their memories and love remain. If you have drawn this card, it means that the past is of some significance to your question. While you may feel as though your life is now colorless, without something or someone you held dear, this may not be wholly true. This card is a reminder of the good times and a chance to reminisce, but also reminds us of the danger that living in the past can bring. There is always more to achieve and enjoy. As a card of times gone by, only love remains, will simply alert you to the past in some readings. A solution could be found in a previous life lesson, or, in some instances, someone from your past could make a reappearance. Someone from your past making a reappearance. What was that about? A solution could be found in a previous life lesson? Spiritual lesson, possibly? I don't know who this person is to y'all, but I mean, they're definitely coming at a time when you're not feeling the most confident, not feeling the most attractive. Maybe this person is coming back to reminisce, to share memories, to give you a different perspective. Like, no, Cancer, it didn't happen that way. It happened this way from my perspective. And it's like, whoa, you've seen it from that perspective? I would have never thought of it that way. I guess it makes sense because you were there seeing me in this light, and I was there seeing you in that light, and these were the cards that I had, I was dealt. Those were the cards that you were dealt. I suppose, I don't know if I would have played them the way you played them. No matter the case, take your time. Slow and steady wins the race, y'all. With that being said, I'm going to end the reading here. As I was telling Landon about uploading the videos, I'm almost 100% positive I didn't upload the Aries and Taurus videos last night, so I'm going to double check, and if I didn't, that's going to be the first video I upload. Then I'll be uploading this video right after. With that being said, y'all, I hope this helped. I hope it was informative to some degree, maybe even entertaining. Didn't see it last night? Okay, yeah. I'll have to upload both the Aries and Taurus and the Gemini and Cancer collective reading, possibly at the same time, but hopefully one before the other. Kissy Face Jello was asleep. That is okay, though. Alrighty, y'all. Do keep in mind, my YouTube channel is Free Will Tarot 2.0. If you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, you will not miss out on these live streams. You will not miss out on the live streams. Another thing, I do personal paid readings on Sundays, $20 a reading, 5 tarot cards, 1 oracle card, just the same as I did this reading. I really want to attempt to do more collective pre-recording content, but sometimes I just don't have the energy after I get out of work. So we shall see if I have the energy tomorrow. I will not have work Friday because, well, it's a certain someone's birthday, so my Aries rising was impatient waiting. Aw. No biggie, but yes, I will definitely have time to make content Friday. Although I do have some errands I need to run. I want to get my hair did. I want to redo my license, all that jazz, redo my tags, whatever the case. Alrighty, y'all. With that being said, maybe I will see you in the next Cancer Collective reading next Tuesday, or any other collective zodiac sign reading between now and then. And yeah, I'm going to end the live stream here, y'all. I am hungry. It's time for me to get some supper. Alright, much love. Take care, y'all, and be blessed. Have a good night.